Hello, you're listening to Count Richard from Coudenhove Kalergi. And just up here above the Killarney National Park, so you can see the lake in the background there. The Muckross Estate covers the equivalent of 1,100 acres of land. Extraordinary, with Muckross Abbey in there amongst the trees as well. And we just came over the mountains today, and it's very interesting. Earlier on I had to stop off in Sneem, where I got talking to a gentleman in the shop who told me that his first job after he left Sneem in 1968 was as a bus conductor, and he worked on the 15 route, which took him up to Terranure and onto Templeogue. Yesterday I was talking to a gentleman who was telling me that he had 6 acres of land and applied for planning permission to build a house on his own land, and his permission was turned down due to a complaint by one of his neighbours who he reckons had spent only 3 weekends in the last year at their house. So it seems to be a lot of problems in relation to local people trying to build and meeting unreasonable authority decisions made by authorities afterwards. I was talking to another gentleman the day before who was talking about the amount of coaches that arrive in and the Ring of Kerry, that on a peak day up to 120 coaches do the Ring of Kerry, and that they are recommended that they actually do it in an anti-clockwise direction because of the narrow roads, that they don't have trouble backing up and causing traffic jams. And another interesting one was that over the Easter weekend, between Park Nasilla, the hotel in Sneem, and guest accommodation there, up to 600 families were staying in the town of Sneem. Now, it's just a little comment about the front of staff in hotels, that I think it's important that the Irish get employed as front of staff. And a lot of the people today in the hotels have actually been Eastern European. They're very nice people, but I think it's important that when people come to Ireland that they meet Irish people. Otherwise it'll become like every other country. I noticed that Saul had a ban from YouTube, which thankfully was lifted, and who he's back in business again. And I think it's great that other small YouTubers take the time to promote stuff, including Saul. Dire Wolf is doing great stuff at the moment, along with Paul Kay, who's doing some lovely drone footage of different parts of the country. So there are a couple of thoughts to my own. Oh, just as a final one, I noticed today now that there was on the news they were talking about the detention centre in Libya, that the Europeans have decided to take people from the detention centre in Libya. And I'm reminded of the film Field of Dreams, where the line in it is, if you build it, they will come. And that seems to be the problem, that if you build direct provision centres in Ireland, they will come. So they have to sort out, they have to stop it at its source. Otherwise you're just going to have more and more people abusing the system coming to Ireland, especially now with the threat of ISIS, and people masquerading as refugees coming in who are actually ISIS supporters and fighters that are combat trained, and could create a lot of trouble. So there are a couple of comments which are my own. Thanks for listening. Bye bye.